I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence, then let them in, talk up their body, another one body, that's just how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane, I to stay on the go. I can play with the pros and act like a rookie, so they overlook me, then I double up again under their nose. None of them cold, they just got lucky but never adapted, so I'm to one if it's coming to blows. My enemies cutting it close, I let them think that they got me, but what do you know? I had them beat before we ever spoke, I'm ready for smoke. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready.
Man, what's going on with that, man?
Well, I don't know. I don't know why we're popping over in Jamaica or Pakistan, and quite frankly, I'm a little worried. But maybe, well, I was gonna say maybe it's like they someone put us in a I don't know, like a weed podcast or something. I feel like that's derogatory, but yeah, that's the thing now. Like we're associated with Jamaica. I don't know, whatever, cool, I guess, fine. Tell my Jamaican brothers, what up? Yeah.
Let's go to Jamaica.
Jamaica's beautiful. You know what I mean? Hey, everybody, how's it going? Oh, Mike's in here. He says, apologies in advance. I'll be rapid fire commenting once one topic comes up. Oh, we'll be ready for you. Don't worry about it, Mike. We'll be ready for you.
Hey, good look on the post, Mike. The promotion for it. Good luck. We appreciate that.
Big hearts out in the chat.
I tell you what Mike did though. This is what Mike hit me with at 3:00 in the morning. He must have been in his bag. He hit me with our interview queued up of us with Mike, and we were talking about what we had to do about the bet. Once we got 1,000, we had to give a perm and a hairpiece. Yeah. He had it queued up to that spot. So as soon as I hit it, it went into that. He didn't have to say anything. And then I laughed back, and we had the conversation. He's like, yeah, I'm holding you guys to that shit, yo. Yeah. When is this going to happen?
We're going to do it. I'm telling you we're going to do it. It's just, the way the bank account is set up, there's a checking into savings. I could go. I digress. But regardless, yes, we're going to do the hairpiece and all of that jazz. So, yeah. So anyway, Coach, so let's get into this. You told me that Donald Trump was talking about a cognitive test?
Yeah, he said, you know how he says things like, I had the best. The doctor said I did the best and all that. But the funny part
he always does the best.
He threw the jab at Joe Biden. Like, when's he going to, and he gave that little smirk he gives. Like, when's he going to take his? I want to see his.
Joe's, listen, so Joe's is going to be atrocious. Like, Joe's, I think Joe might score 20%. That's me. That's me coming out saying I think Joe would score 20% on a cognitive test. Now, me and Coach took the cognitive test. And we posted a link to it earlier this week. So if you guys want to go and do it, just scroll down and you can find it and do a cognitive test and see your results. But Sarah said 40%. So a 40% for the cognitive test on Joe. So mine was 60%. Coach, what was yours?
Mine was a high. I was stoned out of my mind. I got 40. I was stoned, bro. I caught myself drifting off in the answer, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta answer this.
Coach, why would you do that? You set yourself up. Did you think are you like one of those people that I know that plays Call of Duty and they're like, I play better when I'm high, man? And it's like, no, dude, it's just because you feel like you're pressing the buttons faster, man, but you're not. Like, your reaction time is slowed, my man.
What it came down to is I got high, and then I came up with the idea. I was thinking
okay, I see.
Yeah. Thank you, Mary Jane, once again. So, yeah, I got a 48, which is about, what's it out of 50 questions?
Yeah, it's out of 50 questions, yep.
So what is that based on? I remember, what is it? Is it speed too?
No, it's off the percentage you get right, and you're not supposed to use like a calculator or like Google or anything. Like, you're supposed to try and do everything by deductive reasoning through your mind. Hey, how's it going? I can't see who this is. It just popped in the chat. Brenda, hey, how's it going? Yeah, but anyway, yes. It's supposed to be based off your own cognizance, what you can do without a calculator, pen and paper, all that jazz. You just have to figure it out right there in your brain. And actually like 60% is good for the test. Like it said, like even 40% is good. Even 40% is good for the test. Now, anything less than that, you're probably starting to get into like you're a little, like you're not really all there. So
you rode to school on a short bus. If it gets below that, is that what you're saying?
what, Mike? Hold on. Well, for one, that's rude. Okay, but for two, Mike said, "Oh shit, I got a 96. I think took a screenshot when I finished last night." Well, I'm gonna see how good your Photoshop work is, Mike. I want to see how good it is because I ain't buying it. Mike.
Like, you gotta show receipts on that one, Mike. I can't just rock with you on that. I trust and believe your word, but
he went back and did it 7 times, got the right answers, looked it all up. He took his time. He was Googling. He was using a calculator. Let's be real.
Yeah, come on, Mike. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. You had your wife sitting there with you, your kids Googling stuff. You had a whole effort going into
it. Mike had like, he said, swear to God, Mike, you had like 70 people, like literally in a room, like typing on computers, your wife, your kids, like, all right, hey, I got this question. Look it up real quick. Why, okay. And like, you get working on this. Yeah, you had them all divvied out. Where's the test? I want to take it. Gina, we have the test, I believe, on our page. If you scroll down a little bit through our feed, we should have it there for you to take. It's a cognitive test on, actually, I think if I have it, if I open up Restream, I could probably open up and send you guys the link in chat, and comment it below. So if you guys want it, I'll comment it in the live chat.
And the reason why I brought that up too is because I want to see I would pay a download fee of whatever it is to download a song to watch Biden and Trump debate. I want to see it. It's going to be hilarious, bro. They're not going to be professional. They're going to wild out and say some nut ass shit. Joe's going to wake up out of a stupor and realize that he's in a debate. So it's going to be hilarious.
Oh. And then he's going to be like, where am I? And then he's going to like go over and sniff Trump's hair. He's going to be like, oh, it smells like lavender.
Up, you know what I mean? Be like, Joe, we're debating now. It's going to be hilarious, bro. I want to see it. And I definitely think they should start it off. Get them a chalkboard, a little kid's chalkboard. And before they start, they both 1, 2, 3 and flip over their scores of their cognitive tests before they get started. That shit would be funny, yo. Because that's what it's going to be. A shit show.
Yeah. So we're going on now to something a little bit more serious. So we're talking about Wayfair. Now, this is kind of a, well, weird situation. So, as we're coming more and more to grips with the fact that child sex trafficking is a reality. Obviously, if you were sleeping under a rock, yeah, it's happening. And we have a lot of issues going on right now in this country. And we're trying to find the routes to way people are trafficking children for sexual things. And the company Wayfair comes up as they're selling cabinets for like $10,000, $5,000, pillows for several $1,000s, all with different names. Robert Brandt, the Big Sarge Show, said most of it. He scored at 82. Scored at 82? I want receipts. Like, you can comment what you want. I have the receipts. I could post them later if you want for me and Coach's thing, but I don't believe it.
You got to use the link that we shared on the same thing, not some cognitive test that probably had 3 answers or some shit.
Yeah, right.
You got to use that link.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm going to comment the link here in the chat once I find it here in the chat. But anyway, regardless, yeah. So Wayfair, Coach, like run us through here. I mean, what are you thinking? Like, do you think it's legitimate? Because we've been seeing a lot about fact checking and that the Wayfair company isn't actually doing these things. Like we posted a video where a man had called into Wayfair and was inquiring about a cabinet for $5,000, and he said the rumors, like immediately the caller got defensive. The man on the operator on the other side of the phone got defensive. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, I seen it. Like what I got out of it, I look into those things when they come out to check, try to get some facts on it, get ahead of it. Yes, there's some questionable things. Now, the thing about it that's connecting it all together is like they're using names of missing kids to name these. It's the same cabinet, same pillow set, and they even have shower curtains that are like $10,000 to $15,000, and they're named after kids. There's even one of I think it was a pillow or a cabinet, I'm not sure, that was named after the Ghislaine, whatever her name is, Maxwell, that got picked up last week. And this is just crazy that this is something's coming out. Like maybe somebody pointed like she had somebody point the finger at those type of things. That's how they're communicating or something like that. Because let's be real, bro, they've made it so easy for you to just say that's conspiracy, that's conspiracy. You're a conspiracy nut, that they could just widely do this stuff out in the open and just get away with it because nobody's going to believe you.
Yeah, well, like I said, like, okay, hold on. Let's see this. Mike said it's all fake. People shoot prices up to keep their spot on the marketplace. Interesting. So, okay, so you're of the opinion that it's fake. Now, me personally, here's my claim on it is that I don't know if there's sufficient enough evidence to say for certain that this is what it is, because at the end of the day, this is what these things are always going to be, is allegations without the solid evidential proof to get it done. I mean, we need the testimony of someone like that Maxwell? Is that her name? I want to say it.
Just call her Jizzy.
Jizzy?
Call her Jizzy.
That's a little... Okay. I mean, that's a little self-incriminating, don't you think? But yeah, good old Jizzy over there. Yeah, we need testimonies like hers, like we needed Epstein's, to really prove these things effectively and efficiently. And of course, we're not getting those. Now, and in this regard, I don't know why you offer these things up. I think someone saw that there was a how would I put it? A correlation between names. We had seen that these cabinets and these pillows and all that had names, which I am curious to see what Mike's perception is on that. You know, why did these cabinets and things have names on them? And at the same time, too, I kind of wonder, like, how this deal really goes down. Like, how do you sit on the phone with somebody, right? Like, you're trying to buy, like, a child or something, and you're like, yeah, I want to get the cabinet for the Kyle cabinet. You know, like, how do they? Because I'm sure these people, these sick fucks, want a picture or something of the child or whatever, right? Like, so, like, there has to be, like, evidence. There'd have to be a trail if all this stuff was happening, like, somehow, some way. If the Wayfair company was getting away with it.
Yeah, I just don't see how marking something up to $10,000 that's probably only $100-something is going to help you. People are going to skip by that. Like, this is the thing too. They're saying, this is Wayfair's stance on it. They're saying that posters, and they're a site that you can go and post to, something similar to Amazon, but Wayfair has a lot of control. The person posting has some control that can change that stuff. Maybe Wayfair's algorithms ain't up to catch that stuff right away, and somebody had to point it out to them, or whatever system they have in place. Just doesn't make no sense that a cabinet that costs $120 is $10,000. Why would that drive more traffic to you? People are going to be like, why would I pay $10,000 for this, and keep going?
Yeah, so some of the comments I'm reading here, why would they put it there when they have behind-the-scenes networks? Mike says, how would someone know to search for that if someone told them, if someone told them they could do it without the middleman? Some of those girls named came forward and indicated they were not missing. Plus, lots of furniture stores name furniture with people's names, not just Wayfair. All these posts do it. Hold on, what's that last part there? All these do is incite more fear in everyone, where everyone is already too paranoid. And I kind of agree. Like, if you have too much fear, what happens is we tend to lose sight of, like, the real legitimate claims of child sex trafficking, so on and so forth. And I had to take a little bit of, I'll take a little bout of respect to our boy Mike, because, Mike is out there in there every day fighting these people, trying to figure this shit out. So, all love to Mike out there.
Yeah. I definitely think, like, that is true. You should try to get more facts, because this started on Reddit. You know how that goes. The conspiracy part of Reddit got it popping, and then it just blew up overnight, and people, I just was flooded with it, because I have a lot of conspiracy people on my line. I try to balance it out. I like looking at those things too, just to look at them. They're interesting to me to see certain things, because if you look at, like, the story, just by listening to what they had Epstein and Jizzy on, Jizzy, what they had them on, this stuff they were doing basically flat out in the middle of the day, just going out, grabbing girls. They're coming in the house for years and years. So why would we think, that they wouldn't do something like that for whatever reason? Maybe it was just an easier communication, or somebody's just screwing around. We don't know.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things.
Yeah, I again believe that I mean, obviously, I mean, these things have been going on for so long and out in the open. I mean, that's why they work the best. I mean, we see strangers every day with kids and we don't even know if they're theirs. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's people that could be sex trafficked right now that you wouldn't even know that they were being trafficked, because usually I would assume that you're not really asking questions in that day-to-day life. I mean, these people could really be right out there in the open, right in your face, and I believe they are. Let me see here. Someone said, kids game Roblox is horrible. Also, my daughter plays that, and I'm deleting messages, blocking people on the daily, which is kind of creepy. Yeah, you know. Roblox is a cool game though. Like, I remember playing it whenever I was like 13, 14 and stuff. Not anymore. It's kind of lame. I never understood it like in the later parts. But anyway, yeah, like, but Roblox, all these games, like, I think they're talking more so about like these, you know, pedophiles existing like out here in like the gaming sphere and the internet and the digital world and whatnot. And again, that's another way they can hide. I mean, they can hide in those guises, whether it's in plain sight right in front of you. I mean, they could do it digitally, you know, and meeting kids through, you know, the mediums that they play through, whether it's like games or, you know, Chuck E. Cheese, wherever, you know, kids are going to be. And it's a sick mess up thing.
They're creepers. Like I told you before, I coach football, and I always had people coming to me and say, "Hey, man, that guy shouldn't be standing here watching these kids play football." And then they just dip. So, you know, they would tell me quickly and then just dip and then go off somewhere and make sure that person left. Or they, you know, there was a couple times where people had to be removed and you found out who they were and what they were about. So these guys have balls, man. They have balls to come out here and do this type of shit and home in on our kids. And, you know, thankful for people like Mike and what they do down there, because I just seen the interview. Speaking of, Mike did an interview with somebody he busted the other day, and the dude dipped off and didn't even talk to him, but he went on and talked with Mike on an interview. Mm-hmm. And I commend Mike for holding his tongue and letting, because you can see he wanted to blow up, but having those conversations to know how these people think. That's shit that we need to, you know, if we catch somebody saying some of the things that this sick fuck was saying, we can notice that. You know what I mean? We can know, our radars go up. So I commend him for keeping his cool on that shit. I didn't get to see it all. He might have flipped out at the end or something. I don't know. But that's how I look at it.
And we're blessed to have someone like Mike in the chat who, you know, he's asking some really good questions and saying some good things, because, again, I trust his expertise on a lot of this stuff. He said they're watering down a real issue. People are worried about cabinets when they need to focus on their own kids. I'm guessing that's what he meant to say, or their kids. How do we have the nation freaking out over, this is from Kristen Elliott, how do we have the nation freaking out over a conspiracy theory on a furniture store, and there's no talk of Craigslist or sites like the Backpage? Now, I don't know nothing about the Backpage, and I haven't been on Craigslist in like, what'd you say?
I said, stop it. You're on Backpage daily. You got it open right now.
I'm on the Backpage. I'm on the Backpage, offering myself for wet works. Yep, absolutely. Some crazy-ish. With like leather, like, or I wear like leather, the leather suit with like the zipper mouth. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, you're on there, buddy.
But anyway, with all jokes aside, I don't know anything. I mean, I haven't been on Craigslist. I don't. And that's the thing. I think Craigslist has become like this festering hole for maybe where some of these things like hide at, because of the fact that it's not really, as I would say, Craigslist is probably a little bit more local and probably mainstream, or less mainstream than compared to like things like eBay, Amazon, etc. for like selling or reselling.
Yeah, I think creeper spot. It's like the bottom of the barrel type. You know what I mean? The people that go to dive bars and stuff like that. They're people moved on from that, but there's still people, the stragglers that didn't move on and still using that platform. Because if you remember years, I can't remember exactly what year it was, they busted up that. They got sued. I can't remember how it turned out. If anybody in the comments remembers that Backpage got sued for that, because a girl ended up getting kidnapped and missing because of how easy it was, and they weren't monitoring it well. So I know they had to change their monitoring policies before they could still run up and things like that. So people kind of moved on. And you know, they got the dark web, they got crazy chat sites. I
mean, the infrastructure of the child sex trafficking thing is deep, extravagant, and there's many routes, because they've had to have been doing this for a long time without people really understanding and knowing about it. Like hearing about it, like kind of like the shadow people that, like, you know, like, oh, people are just disappearing. I mean, you see it. I mean, you literally see it when you go into Walmart, like a wall of kids that have just been missing forever. No one's found them yet, you know? Like a wall filled with them. And
Yeah.
and like that reality has always existed, but it's like no one's really asked those questions. I'm trying to remember who posted this comment. Well, I think it was Elizabeth Kane said she had a cleaning business on Craigslist, and some of the she posted ads, and some of the replies she got were nasty. So I'm kind of wondering if like, did you post ads and like people thought like you were like using code, like speaking in code for like selling children or something? Like I'm kind of curious like what the hell that was all about.
Prostitution.
Yeah, maybe like prostitution. I mean, I'm kind of curious. Like, let us know, Elizabeth, a little bit more about that, because I am kind of curious.
Also, though, that brings to the question, like, people are saying like conspiracy theories. Why are we focused on that, and the people spreading it all out with that? I just like to say theories no more. I'm wiping out the conspiracy because we know that that's a tool made to say that you're crazy, and we know that I can't say every theory is right when you say the conspiracy theory thing, but I know that people do some fucked up shit,
Mm-hmm.
and everything is not a conspiracy theory. The people do some nut shit. I know regular people that do nut shit that you wouldn't even know unless you caught them or you recognize the behaviors. So imagine people with billions and billions of dollars what they're doing. So I'm never going to dismiss anything and say people are crazy. Now, if they're 24/7, oh my God, everything's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
That, yes, that's like get the tinfoil, let's make them a swan hat or some shit. Let's make them something dope because they need it. That,
Yeah.
yes. So that brings
Swan
me
hat
to
out of
this.
foil.
Yes, that brings me to this question. Just as fast as they spread it, saying like as the conspiracy theory wise, is just as fast as they debunked it and fact checked it. Do we think that's enough time for them to like a 24-hour period to do enough to fact check it to debunk it?
All right. So from my perspective, I don't think that someone can thoroughly debunk. They can only, especially at that time. I think you can post up information that is contradictory to the point you're trying to make, which then throws it into question, like what you believe. It throws it into question. I think that once you have a sufficient amount of evidence, because it's like we always start with like someone's not guilty until you know what I mean, like you're not guilty till proven innocent. It's the other way around. You're not guilty until proven guilty. So you have to start with that assumption. So like someone's gonna say you committed a crime, which in the instance of the Wayfair Corporation, it's like selling these cabinets that they think that is sex trafficking of children. And then you have people that are putting out the contradictory information, like Mike and these debunk sites and whatever else. So you have to like consider that information, even though that there's people out there that I say that are saying that they can't consider that information. You still have to at least consider it, I think. And
Yeah.
do I believe that you can just debunk something right outright? No. I think you could present information and say that, well, hold on, that's not all the information because people do this. Like people upsell furniture from based on what Mike's saying all the time and all that stuff. So if that's the case, then we have to consider the information. Now, if we did a deeper investigation, could there be information that does lead to this actually was sex trafficking? Of course. But again, I there are parts of me that agree with Mike's argument that we have a lot of people who are talking about oh no, we need to pay attention to these things. Like we need to pay attention to this cabinet and this company selling, but we really got to be paying attention to why aren't you paying attention to your kids? And I think that's a good argument because it starts with the kids. Now, granted, there are a lot of people who enter the sex trafficking like children that enter this sex trafficking stuff at a young age because they have no parents, or they're either homeless or they have terrible parents or what have you, that they kind of just they never had a chance really.
Right, broken home. And the fact that like what you're saying also is like, yeah, if a person, you got to watch your kids, but I would imagine the people that I know that are over, sometimes I say, whoa, bring it down a notch with the conspiracy theories. You're bugging me out right now. Everything that we talk is this, it's all conspiracy. I have to tell them to calm down. They are overprotective of their kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The ones that are really spreading these things are overprotective of their kids. Like if they fall and get a bruise, they're like, we got to take them to the hospital, or we keep your eye on them. Get a leash. Get one of those leash things.
Oh,
you know what I mean? That
yeah, like
type
the kid walkers, or like the leash things, or like they got like the front and back fanny holster for their kid. Elizabeth Kane actually said that she would remember how we were asking her about if people on Craigslist were like sending her like, you know, nasty stuff. And she said I would find their profile on Facebook and then she would send them their own pics to them. So she would like say would send like a picture of like their dick or something or whatever, and then she would send it back to him. Like she'd find him on Facebook and send it to him. Like, I know who you are.
Right. Hey, they do it. Like, yeah, we need to start it. We need to start females need to, I got an idea for females. Just start like make a website for exposing the dick pic shooters. The
Right.
ones that are shooting expose them. Expose them. That'd be
yeah.
funny.
Well, Coach, me and you joked like if a dick pic comes out, we're gonna own it.
Oh yeah, man. Like I said, yeah, there's gonna be like I got a few floating out there, bro. So if we get it big, expect that somebody. So I said this over time. Expect it. Expect my cock to show up somewhere. Right. So it is what it is. Yes, we are not rated G or PG around here. We do this raw as we can get. So yeah, that's the thing that I kind of wanted to get into. I just wanted to make sure that people just ain't automatically. Because I always find where there's some kind of theory, like I said, I'm going to call them theories from now on, there's some kind of little truth to it. Like there's something in there that you could at least learn that may be helping what you're saying, and you don't have to go all overboard. But I don't think that this is one of the things, because there's too many dark webs in every. Why would they go flat out there just in this space and decide to do that? I think it had a lot to do. Maybe people were just sick in the mind, playing around, doing dumb shit, something like that.
Yeah, well, I said Mike brought up a point, and I'll have to look into it myself. As a lot of furniture companies, I guess, name furniture after people, which is weird. But it's still weird that like those certain ones were like higher prices. Now,
yeah, but
Steven,
the names were weird. They're not normal names. Not Dave. They're like Kiera, spelled a certain way. They even had one name of Giselle, Jizzy. So come on, man. It's not like naming furniture though. They're using names, even though those people some came out and said, the one girl came out and said, I'm not missing. What the fuck?
Yeah, like people right here saying like, oh, wait, are you guys like, this person's missing. No, I'm right here, you know? Stephen Caldwell, I believe that is the man. Or no, sorry, Stephen Clavelli. Sorry. There's nothing wrong with conspiracy ideals or looking into them. The problem comes when the believers start declaring all the evidence against the conspiracy as further evidence of how deep the conspiracy truly is. I agree with that. I think that's where I like when I'm someone who's looking at conspiracy theories. They want to believe their thing is so true and so right. You know, whenever they have counter evidence, they want to say, oh look, that's even more evidence for the conspiracy because look, they're doing this. Or this information exists. It's all disinformation. And again, I think it leads you down a rabbit hole that really gets you nowhere at the end of the day. I mean, I agree that you should be skeptical. I'm a skeptic of just about everything. And that's my problem is like, when I say I'm a skeptic, it means I'm also skeptical of the conspiracy theory. And I'm also skeptical of the theory that the people opposed to the conspiracy are putting out. I'm skeptical. I'm just looking at information. I'm trying to make a decision based upon that at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's all you could do is just try to don't be followers like we discussed in the earlier video that we think, man, just look into what you really, before you even get into it, support it or talk about it. You know what I mean? Because another thing with the Wayfair, they're going after Ellen. Now, you know, they say Ellen's in that group of people that conspiracy think she supports Wayfair. So they're just connecting they're just grabbing dots and saying, look. So, but I mean, I don't get that
freaking Ellen
information, but I know for a fact that Jizzy girl, she's got a lot of information on a lot of powerful people that she could blow something wide open. That a lot of these conspiracy people are going to be like, look, but you know how they're going to do that.
Oh man,
you know how they're going to do that. They're just going to get a couple people to take the fall.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Stephen Clavelli said a judge found no evidence. The judge must be in on it then. I just thought that was funny. A judge found no evidence. He's in on it. Everyone's in on it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
But I mean, there is a part of me that has to believe that there's so many systems and routes of corruption for this stuff to kind of like just go underneath the radar. Now, Mike is saying that a ring was actually busted up by him recently, like a child sex trafficking ring.
Oh, word. Remember I asked you that on our last thing? Did you ever counter that? And you said, no, you didn't really. So I thought it went parallel, that you would probably at one time run across the ring. And that's huge. That's what the ones you really want to bust up outside of, you know, doing your regular thing and hopping out on dudes. I love it. but I would imagine that you would come across one of those at some point.
Check this out. Apparently, Mike said that Ellen and Oprah are on house arrest, yet there's no docket sheet saying they were ever charged. So what are you
Yeah,
implying?
that's another thing. They say Obama's on house arrest. Everybody you could Tom Hanks, all of them. They got
Tom
pictures.
Hanks is on house arrest. Well, didn't he have COVID?
Yeah, he had COVID.
Yeah, say Tommy Hanks had the COVID. So, I
But
mean,
Tommy Hanks was on Epstein's plane, just
mm,
like Chris Tucker was. Like, to my black community, we gotta act like we can't act like Chris Tucker wasn't on there too. You know what I mean? On Epstein's plane, where did he go? You know what I mean?
Right on. Okay. Well, I think for the most part, unless someone has anything else they want to put out there, we have thoroughly beaten up the Wayfair conversation. Now, here's something that is interesting because we were talking about debunking and like misinformation and knowledge and mysterious kind of things. So, anybody watch the show Glee? No, me neither. I've never watched it. But I never watched it ever. I really don't know anything about it. But something that did happen was the disappearance of Naya Rivera. I had to make sure I looked at that right and got it right. She was a star on Glee, and apparently she had went out on a pontoon boat with just her and her son. And apparently they had gotten off. Her son got back on the boat. She did not, and they found her body today. So the theories are, she drowned, or maybe there's something else going on. I have no idea. I mean, to me, it just seems weird that you go out on a boat with just you and your son. A pontoon boat, of all things.
Yeah. A pontoon boat is what? Like a paddle boat or something?
It's a big boat. Like a pontoon boat's a big boat. It's a boat the next step down from a houseboat. It's a boat you take out on the river. Yes, Denise, they found her body. And that's what's crazy to me is who goes out on a pontoon boat? Like nobody, at least from around here, like, if you go out to the lake and you have a pontoon, you're not going out with just you and your son. Like a pontoon boat's like an occasion. You take the boat out, you're going out to have some fun. Like you're going to take a couple friends out, you're going to hang out, do some sunbathing. Yeah, it's a motored boat. Yeah, so.
They said that when they found her, they said her son was asleep and her life preserver was still on board. I remember reading that.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, what is this, like the third person that died from Glee?
Oh, I don't know. Is it the third person that died from Glee?
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute, bro. Are we about to conspiracy? It's starting. Conspiracy, guys. We're starting it here. If it hasn't already started, here we go, guys. All right, so hear me out. The stars from Glee were part of the sex cult for the Illuminati. I don't know. I'm making shit up. I don't know. But regardless, I mean, it's within the realm of possibility if that is true.
I don't know. It just goes. It's something like the weird things that happen, like the 27 Club.
Mm-hmm.
That's gone lower, especially for rappers like Juice WRLD. They brought it down to like 21. You know about the 27 Club? Like Jimmy had like great musicians that died at the age of 27. Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin. What's the dude of the crazy dude that used to get high as shit and just wild out? Him, Jim Morrison. There's a lot of them that died at 27, and they called it the 27 Club, like it's a curse or something for musicians. So that's all conspiracy all day. You can go with conspiracies like it's the devil. You signed your life over to the devil, and if you didn't do what you're supposed to at 27, you die or whatever. Those type of things. So yeah, it is. And Glee is like, that's kind of weird though that 3 people die at a young age. I think one committed suicide and one was a mysterious overdose or something like that. So you could see where the theorist people, the conspiracy, the crazy ones, their antennas go up and they just and go in on that. So they'll find anything to connect those dots. So
Well, I went and looked into it. So my hunch is maybe she had some kind of, hey Justin, what's going on? Hey. My presumption is, because I'm just based off what we got right now, like maybe Naya had some kind of like medical or health condition or something that happened. She went out in the water and went swimming, and maybe she ate something and didn't wait 30 minutes before swimming and then had cramps. I'm kidding, of course, but I think maybe she like had maybe a heart attack, a stroke, something, And I mean, they don't have the autopsy evidence or whatever yet, but that's my hunch that I'm going with as of right now. I think that there has to be something going on to it. Oh, well, not mysterious. He had a drug issue for a while. So are you saying maybe drugs? Drugs could have been a part of it, perhaps. I mean, that sounds like something that could be a little irrational if you're on drugs. Like you go out in the pontoon boat, take your son with you, and then, maybe something happens. I mean, because I think all they have as of right now is the testimony of the son, who just, they found asleep and said that, his mom never came up. So.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to wait for.
I mean, where's the father? Like, there's a lot of questions I have. Like, where's the father during this whole situation? What's going on with that whole thing? Like I don't know. Like, I feel like there are like loose ends to it. Oh no, the Corey guy from Glee. He wasn't talking about her. He was talking about the guy Corey from Glee. He had a drug problem for a while, and then I'm guessing he must have overdosed.
Yeah, it's a lot of that thing. It's a lot of pressure, and people just I don't know. It just sounds weird for her. I didn't really get too deep into it, but it did sound the way that they're saying, like it just was irrational to be out there with your kid by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and another good point Denise brings up. But why would you leave a young child alone on a boat?
Go swimming.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, why would you be like, all right, we're getting in. And it's a pontoon. I mean, to get up and off of a pontoon, like imagine, okay, so you have a 4-year-old son. I want you to think about this. You have a 4-year-old son. So like, even if you were going to say that he got in and out of the water with you, I mean, it's hard to get up and back up and down from a pontoon boat, Like, especially for someone who's 5, let alone 4, 6, 7. I mean, a pontoon boat sits pretty high out of the water. I mean, of course, there's a ladder, but I'm again, like, I have a lot of questions. Like, and then she jumped in the water herself. I feel like there's a piece of this whole thing missing. Like, something.
Yeah, there's always pieces of puzzles missing. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
And you just got to wait for some things to come out. Either or, even if it was something fishy about it and people in power didn't want it to know that it's going to happen, we'd never know. Yeah. Just imagine that if you had the information on all the bullshit we're fed, like you knew the truth. Mm-hmm. Like, you'd probably go crazy if we knew half of the truth. Yeah. Like what's really going on.
Bro, I'm already having mental breakdowns and stuff. Like, I can't honestly, I can't handle it. Like, what movie is that from? You Can't Handle the Truth? God, why can't I think of the fucking movie?
With Tom Cruise and them.
You Can't Handle the Truth. What movie is that from? Somebody please tell me. I'm gonna slap myself when I see it. Justin Gower says, shit, I came in late on a good discussion. Yeah, Justin, you did. You missed our whole Wayfair discussion. It was pretty in depth, Just. What the hell?
Wasn't that A Few Good Men? That You Can't Handle the Truth?
Yeah. A Few Good Men. Yep. Yep. Sure Mike said it. Good job, Coach. You were on it. You get the gold star, and I gotta slap myself because I messed it up. All right.
So hey, let's switch a little bit, switch gears, because I want to know what everybody thinks about going to the stores, and this is another conspiracy thing that is coming out. Going to the stores and you can't use money no more. Like there's a shortage of change and people don't want you using money at all. They just want you to swipe cards. And they're saying it's because of COVID. But why is there no change? That makes no sense to me. They're saying there's a change shortage. That means not that they don't want to touch your money. They're just saying there's no change. Like, who has all the change? Like, where's it at?
Right.
Like, what's going on with that? And they're saying the conspiracy part of it is they're saying they're slowly getting us adapted to saying no more money. You got to use digital currency as far as like, and you're just never going to see cash anymore. Yeah. And one thing that would do is the backyard deals, the back alley deals would disappear. The people would have to find ways to do criminal activity now. How to get the money from doing criminal activity without it being traced, without the paper trail. Yeah. Because cash, that's what it was good for in all business.
I was gonna laugh and say, like, I saw these people posting about no more paper money and all that, and I was like, I know all the people out here really like are about the drug life or something that are posting this. Like, they're like, oh no, like they're gonna be able to trace everything. I can't swipe my debit card at the plug's house. I can't swipe my debit card over here and getting some crack at Julie's. It's just not gonna happen.
Hey, they might get. Hey,
who knows? Maybe they might.
That would be my mind thing.
Bitcoin, bro, like Bitcoin and shit. What if like that's where like Bitcoin and shit came in? Like they created a whole new currency just for people to buy drugs and shit.
They do,
Ooh,
bro,
interesting.
on the dark web, bro. You can
Yeah.
buy crack cocaine on the dark web. You can buy heroin with Bitcoin, bro. I went deep diving in it one day. One day we'll go in. We did a show on it, but we didn't go in depth on how it was. One of our early shows on Bitcoin. But yeah, I think no matter what, criminals are going to adapt. They're going to adapt to how to get their money.
Mike says, how the fuck am I gonna buy a herb? My guy doesn't take the Cash App.
He doesn't take Cash App. Yeah, how are we going to get the bud, man? Are we going to have to barter? We're going to take it back to the barter system.
Right, you're gonna be like, hey man, I'll trade you this for that. Like, you know, like do like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh card type deals and stuff.
Be like, here, I need an ounce of some good tree, and here's $250 worth of what? What do you need? I'll go buy it.
Cornbread and biscuits. I don't know, something.
Biscuits, right?
Teriyaki chicken. I don't know, something, anything. Justin Gower says so they're talking about there's several. It looks like there's several angles they're taking this as. So they're saying that they're printing more coin apparently. It's a flow issue with so many stores being closed and lots of online shopping. Not as many coins are in circulation, which is kind of true. Like, I think me and Coach saw this pre-show and discussed it a little bit. And we thought, with COVID going on, that there's probably going to be propensity for less coins in circulation because, for one, people are going to use their card more. They're not going to want to, give out change and, touch paper money, especially because paper money goes through more people's hands than, your card does. Your card goes straight to the machine, the scan, whatever, the swipe machine, and then it comes right back out,
Yeah.
And it touches less things than money because money, it goes from your hand to the girl's hand. And then whenever she gives that $1 of change back to somebody else, they get it. They spend it on something else. It spreads, it spreads germs faster.
It's dirty.
Yeah.
Money's the worst thing in the world. The greed part of it, but what they do to get it and to actually have it in your hand. It's dirty. It's got all kinds. I remember a guy tested it and every dollar bill he tested had cocaine on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Well, I listened to this. So Steven brought up a good point. He said, "LO, most dealers I know already use Venmo." The funny thing about the conspiracy is that we already willingly carry around a device that records us and tracks our every position. Yeah, and I kind of agree with that. If we're really talking about I think I've had this discussion with a lot of people. They're saying about NWO, mind control, world takeover. Listen, dude, they already got you. If you got a cell phone, you got a Facebook. I love that. People posted on Facebook about this shit. Oh man, they're getting rid of money. I'm like, dude, they already made you.
Right.
You already have all your information. They have you.
You don't need money unless you're doing something illegal. To be honest, you don't. You use your card. Mm-hmm. Use your card unless you're doing something illegal. And I think they kind of figuring that out, and that's a way to ease some of that stuff down. But it'll be hacked. Some smart motherfucking criminal will come up with the new way to get around that. So pretty much.
Let's put it this way. You got probably a lot of criminals are like, well, we're not going to go out without a fight. I'm sure they're going to be hiring the best hackers in the world. Listen, you got to figure something out to get around this. Hey, we got a badge today. We reached 100 messages today in the Restream chat. Love all you guys. Thank you for helping us reach 100 messages. Justin says, hey, can you break an Asian prostitute? He says, we need a new currency. Should be meth and prostitutes. And he said, hey, can you break an Asian prostitute? Well, what are you going to break an Asian prostitute with? How do you subdivide it? How much is an Asian prostitute worth as comparison to a different kind of prostitute?
It's as much worth as the demand.
Yeah, right. Is it personal preference? Maybe you like a black prostitute more than an Asian one, so it's worth more if you have two and then divide the one. I don't know, whatever. And maybe you and then meth's the change, prostitutes are the dollar amount and meth is the coin amount, it's the change amount. Is that what we're getting at?
They're drawing up that they're scaling it right now in a boardroom somewhere. Trust me.
Right. We got our best guys on it. It's going to be huge. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be the best thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, so that's pretty much where it's at with the money. I think that they are going to try to get rid of that. I don't think that's a conspiracy. I think there's no need for it. But this, I will say that every business will be affected by, because I don't care what anybody says. The most honest person in the business has done cash deals in the back alley and didn't report it. So let's
Yeah,
not be.
I think
Let's not be. Yeah.
I think the IRS is about to have a field day with some people. Like people like myself that are starting up business owners. It's gonna make it a lot harder for us because they're gonna be like, oh damn, like
You got
like
$30 in cash, Dev. You
yeah.
didn't pay taxes on it.
You didn't pay tax on that $30 in cash. I got a gift from my dad. No excuses. Like
No.
burn him down,
Oh,
send him to jail. Tax fraud, send him to jail.
tase him. Tase his ass and take him to jail over that $30 that cash he got. It'd probably be. They probably make it into a law where you can, if you got cash, you're going down, bro. You're getting tased and you're going down.
You're getting tased. All right, so Justin says 2 Asians are worth 1 Russian. 1 Asian is worth 2 white ones. It depends. Then Steven said it depends on the breast size. See, this is what I mean. Like, I think like all the prices are gonna be negotiable. Like, it all depends on what you want. Like, all right, well, I can settle for like, 2 white ones for this. I think it's gonna be. We're about to see a whole new economy, guys. It's gonna be insane. The biggest, craziest economy you've ever seen.
It's back to bartering.
Wait a minute, guys. We are totally contradicting ourselves. Because we're sitting here talking about child sex trafficking, and then we're like, all right, guys, like, we're going to be selling prostitutes out in the market. Now, are they willing? Like, does it, like, I think we are getting, maybe I'm thinking way too deep into this. I think I'm, like, doing double think. My brain's hurting. We're done. I have to put this to bed, guys. Listen, figure it out, get back to us, and then we'll make it happen, whatever. But until then...
So, anything else on the board or anything else we want to discuss? We got a few more minutes. Is there anything in the chat you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, guys. Hey, throw in your questions. We'd love to answer them and talk about them. Here's a good one. So casinos only take cash. Will they adapt or will they go out of business?
No, casinos ain't out of business.
They'll adapt. I mean, they already do. Like
cash.
Dave and Buster's already does like a card system. But then again, you trade cash for the amount on the card, so that's interesting. So like, would you swipe a debit card? Yeah, just swipe a debit card, I guess, and put it on there.
They would just get rid of the cash. That would hurt a lot of them because casinos, they're money laundering machines. Believe that. There's a lot of back alley business goes on in casinos because all cash businesses. You got a cash business, there's back alley deals going on. It's facts. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that would be they would be easy to adjust. That might not. They're going to try to fight it because they want cash, but it'll be easy for them to just get machines and transfer money from a thing to an account to a card. No biggie.
Yeah, and hey, everybody out in the chat right now, we love y'all. If you're going to stop by and you haven't already liked the page, hey guys, like the page. We love y'all. Drop a like on this, share it, do all that jazz. Give us some love. I appreciate everybody out here in the chat right now.
Since we got all the time, we got a little bit of time left. We got about 13 minutes. Is there any questions out there you guys want to ask about us? Get to know us a little more. A host question or something like that. Any questions? Anything you want, I'll answer. I don't care.
Okay, Coach is crazy. Look, he's got that look at that left eye. He's got a crazy look in that left eye right there. Look at it. Look at it.
I twitch a little bit here and there.
Oh man. Like I said, and when they pay out, it's all cash. I mean, I don't gamble. Like, I don't gamble at all. Like, I mean, I don't think I've used a lottery ticket in years. So, like, I really don't know. Your favorite conspiracy, guys. Well, here's the thing. I don't really I don't have a favorite. Like, I don't want to like a conspiracy. Like, I'm on like the whole like 9/11 truther stuff. Like, that's like my the one I actually believe. That's the one I believe. But again, like, that's just me. Like, it's not my favorite. Like, I don't have like a favorite. Like, ooh, I like this one. Like, I like this one. It's just like that's the one I believe, I guess. What do you got, Coach?
I would have to go back to like the 3 in the 60s with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and JFK. That's the one I spent the most time on because it happened all in the same time. And Bobby Kennedy.
Lee Harvey Oswald. Like, the murdering and everything. I mean, that's a good one too. Like a deep dive. It's a very good one. If you look into it and see all the information and just the overall picture of the country, the change that was happening with JFK and Bobby Kennedy leading it, they were changing their views because they were meeting with the black community and meeting with these people and understanding, oh, I was told bullshit. I'm seeing what you're telling me what it is. And they were making changes.
but all those people died in the same amount of time, like in the same couple of years.
Right. I mean, I think the Kennedys were like ahead of their time, perhaps, and maybe even seen as a threat to the establishment, perhaps. And I think there's a movie. Isn't there a film that talks about the legitimacy of the JFK assassination? That it was later on they did like a retrial of it, and they found that there was credible evidence to say that it was a conspiracy. I can't remember the name of the film. If anybody remembers off the top of my head, let me know. Justin says, "What about the fake moon landing?" No, I don't think the moon landing happened.
Hey, hold on. Deb thinks it's real. I think it's fake. So that tells you where we're at, like there. I really truly think it's fake.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I believe it's real. I mean, it doesn't, to me, it just doesn't make any sense on like the prospect of you're gonna sit there and make all these things that, what's that? I like a Mormon one that says I like a Mormon. Oh, he's talking about a conspiracy. Okay, so hold on. Here's his conspiracy. I like a Mormon one that says that, what the hell is that? He says Bigfoot. Okay, I like a Mormon one that says that Cain from the Bible is Bigfoot. That's why he's so hard to find on or film. There's only one. He's just never had access to a razor. He's like from Cain, so like Cain from Cain and Abel, like in the Bible. He's still walking the earth as Bigfoot, and there's only one. So like, what about when he has white fur, like a Yeti? Like, what's a Yeti? Is a Yeti Cain? That's so weird. That's such a weird conspiracy. That's so weird.
Another one that's realistic and they just can't pinpoint it. There's so much out there. Is Jimmy Hoffa. Like how Jimmy Hoffa went, like it's just crazy. Like how
Coach, you're gonna have to talk to my little Zillennial mind here. What's the Jimmy Hoffa conspiracy? Who is that, and what does that have to do with anything? I don't know who Jimmy Hoffa is.
Jimmy Hoffa was a strong. He organized laborers. He was one of the powerful people in the world around that time, and around his time in the 60s. And he was mobbed up. He had mob people around him. He was making deals with the mob. Bobby Kennedy was coming after him. They had beef. All this was happening in the same time. Like Malcolm, Martin, Hoffa, all these people are dead around the same time of years. You know what I mean? All of it's connected in some form or fashion.
So there was like a nationalist movement, you think, like among like supremacists and whatnot, that probably led to their death. I would say that's probably a fair assessment.
Yeah, they were getting people too close. The people were getting too close together to say, let's band and knock down what's happening now. What's happening right now, that people are tired of the same old way, the power structure, the systematic bullshit, that they're ready to tear it down. And let's make some changes. That's how it was happening back then. But they just didn't have the numbers, and the people weren't free. People, you know what I mean, that wanted the changes. Right. And the people that were in the power positions, like the president, were starting to change and turn away from the old way and the people that helped them get elected, which got them killed.
Yeah, well, people in the chat are saying that Hoffa died because he was no longer willing to give the mob kickbacks anymore.
True. That's one of the theories.
He probably just had too many enemies, and a lot of people want to see him dead, and they're like, all right, we'll just set it up then.
Yeah, and he was fighting back. Like, he didn't want to give up his position. He wanted back in, but they had a new person that they could control. And so he was going to fight his way and to try to get back in and take over the power, and they just wanted him to chill. A lot of people did. Yeah. And he got caught up in it. You know, he just got betrayed. Like, that's how it is. Like, when you're dealing with people like that, you can't trust nobody, but you can learn. You got to trust somebody. So you build that circle of people. But when you're in that type of lifestyle that they were living back then, yeah, when they're done with you, and if you have that information they need and they think you're going to blow something, yeah, you're gone. You're out of the way. It's just that simple in that life. So,
yeah. So, all right. I think we've hit all the boxes here. I think we've had a great show.
Yes.
I'm happy everybody stopped out, said what's up. Justin, Mike, we love you. Steven, I appreciate you, Steven, coming in the chat. You've been awesome. If you haven't already, hey, guys, like the page, man. Be here. We love talking with y'all. We like hearing y'all opinions.
Oh, yeah. Next, when you highway hop, Mike, stop by this way. I see you were in Reading. I don't know the direction that was. You seen the sheets for the first time, he said. He went to his sheets for the first time. We got sheets all over here. So if you travel, pop up. an
Yeah.
Altuna's way. We'll hang out.
Yeah, like I said, Mike, we'll do something crazy, you know. But yeah, pull over sometime. We gotta chill. We gotta do something. We gotta collab. But yeah, I mean,
We'll do some gang banging.
gang banging. Oh man, I want to do little Martin Lawrence dances when we get out of here. All right. As always, stay beautiful. Take care of yourselves. Have a good one. See ya.